everybody, I'm Alanis King, and this right here is me and my husband's 2004 Mazdaspeed Miata, and we're about to do some work on it for you. But first, I should say, if you want to see stuff like this, new cars, used cars, all kinds of videos, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, tell me what you want to see, and maybe just hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. So, what are we doing today? This Mazdaspeed Miata at about 40 miles per hour makes a wail. It sounds like a ghost is haunting it, right? It goes woo! We think it's the differential. So, we got a new differential right here, and we're about to swap them out, see if that wailing stops. And if it doesn't, then we're gonna have to figure something else out.
I got one question for you.
What's that question, hon?
What are those?
So while we get the Mazdaspeed in the air and take the wheels off, I'll tell you about the main issue with the car. At around 40 miles per hour, it starts to whine on acceleration. You might have been able to hear it in that first clip, but it is way worse in person. It only whines on throttle. Off the throttle, it sounds fine. The torsion unit also makes a nasty grind when you turn the wheel really sharply in reverse. Something here is broken. Something is not right. And it doesn't really matter what it is because the whole thing is getting replaced. If you're a Miata owner, you probably know this. Prices are a little high right now. When we looked around on Marketplace, most people wanted $1,000 to $1,200 for a Mazdaspeed differential. We found this one on eBay for $720 shipped to our door. And that is not a bad deal if it works.
Oh wow, that was not too bad.
Wow!
Axle has been popped.
With the wheels off, the first major task was getting the axles out. And maybe there's a special tool or something designed for removing axles, but we don't have any of that. We're working with the basics here. So we used old, rusty, flathead screwdrivers, and to make room for the axles, we removed a bolt on the upper control arm.
All right, mid differential change update. It appears that the exhaust and mid pipe is kind of in the way of the differential and the axle. So we're gonna have to pull the mid pipe to get the diff out and get the axle off.
And this thing is a rusty. Look at that.
Coming this way, right? Is that left?
That is left. Pull down.
Unfortunately, there was a lot of stuff in the way of getting the differential out. The exhaust was the first major obstacle. Even though some of the bolts looked rusty, they came free fairly easily with the breaker bar. You could say we caught a break there. With the exhaust hanger off, we tried to slide out the mid-pipe, but the next obstacle was in the way, and that was the subframe braces.
I'm gonna damage my Pittsburgh tools. You're gonna get all scratched.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's been loosened up.
Oof, the HOA meeting next week is gonna be rough. Oh, it's coming. All right.
Oh, the exhaust is dropping.
It's out. Clean, no brace.
Oh, we've been officially.
And there's the diff. Right there. Woo-hoo-hoo.
We've been officially debraced.
We've been debraced.
Looks like
We got the diff.
And it looks like I split my axle seal pulling this axle out.
Well, it kind of looked like you did that. I wasn't going to say anything, but it kind of looked like you did that.
It's okay, because I bought new ones. I expected something to happen.
I was like, oh, that doesn't look too good, but I'm not going to say anything.
All right, now that we got the brace off, we have the differential.
Well, we still have one brace, to be clear.
We're gonna leave that one. We don't need to pull that.
We don't need to pull that one out.
But we got to pop this axle out right here, and then zip these off. And I guess, well, we need to drain the oil too. But then we drop the drive shaft and we'll be out of here.
It's very simple.
Very simple.
Very greasy.
After draining the oil and pulling the other axle out, we worked on getting the power plant frame unbolted, and we pulled out the drive shaft.
Look at that axle.
Ooh, there it is. We got stuff everywhere. We got braces. We got exhaust. Okay, so before we get the differential out, we got some other things to do.
Yeah, so we got this power plant frame PPF. It runs from the transmission all the way back to the differential. And I guess because the Miata is kind of a floppy chassis, being a convertible, they decided to stiffen it up with this thing, so gotta take it out.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Now, how do I bring it back? There it is. Ooh, that is a lot of dust.
There you go.
That's a lot of dust. I'm receiving a delivery. Where would you like the drive shaft? I'm gonna put it right here.
All right, so we got the oil out of the diff, we got the exhaust, and some bracing off. Axles out, and Alanis has got the big breaker bar, loosening up the big bolts on the differential. It's holding it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this in here.
Don't take it all the way off because it'll drop on your face.
That would be horrible.
That would be bad.
All right, that's loose.
It's loose?
That's loose.
All right, good job, dear. We will put the impact on there and
we
just
gotta
zip them
loosen
off.
these smaller ones
Yeah, but those are
later.
a little bit later, I think.
All right.
All right, we are almost out.
Oh, this thing's gonna be heavy.
Yeah, we're gonna use the jack to lower it.
Yeah, this is not gonna be fun.
All right, we'll check back in whenever we got it coming down.
Yes, we will. Lowering the differential was a little harder than expected. Not only is this thing heavy, but it is up there. We ended up having to pull off the whole knuckle on the left side to get the axle free and make room to clear the power plant frame. With the differential out of the car, only a few bolts stood in the way of seeing the gears inside, the big reveal. We expected missing teeth on the ring gear and lots of glitter. But when we cracked it open, we had more questions than answers. Alright, so those teeth don't look bad.
There's like no wear on them.
That's not great.
So I don't know.
So the whale might be coming from something else?
These things are in place.
I mean, this looks pretty fine.
I mean, nothing jumps out to me.
So did we just buy a new diff for no reason?
I have no idea.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well, that's...
Like all the teeth look pretty good.
They look really good.
There's no real glitter in the oil or anything. Like, but I mean, it's only 8,000 mile old oil. Yeah, I was expecting to see like chunks
Yeah, me too.
and stuff. I'm looking in there at the torsion unit, and like it looks like all the teeth are there. So I don't know. Maybe one of those things like you can't really see and it is, you know?
Well, it's already out, so put the new one in.
Oh yeah, the new one's definitely going in.
See what happens. Next up was removing the old differential bushings. These aren't like most other bushings. They have metal sleeves pressed in with rubber in the center. We thought maybe we could just use a puller to push out the metal sleeve, but we quickly realized this was more likely to break the aluminum diff carrier than to remove the bushing. We needed a different plan.
All right, quick update. We need some tools. All right, it's a new day. We gave up last night with the differential, trying to get these bushings out. I think we decided to go with a different plan. Went to Harbor Freight and bought some new tools. So, got us an air hammer.
The air hammer was like $20 and it might be our new favorite tool. The bushings came out in around 5 minutes with this thing. It was working. Next up is prepping the surfaces for the gasket maker.
Miata is still up in the air. We got the NASCAR race on the computer. And I got Alanis handling the RTV.
Yeah, so we're gonna mate these two together. So we're putting this on here, and we'll screw them in, but we're putting this on here first.
Got the surfaces all cleaned up. Some brake clean on them. New axle seals in on the sides.
Yeah.
Got the bushings out. Hopefully this differential does not squeak.
Cracked in half too.
Yep, cracked them in half.
Sawed in half.
So we are going to run this bead,
All the way through.
put these two things together, and we're gonna actually have to wait 24 hours for it to set up. That's what it says on the packaging.
Which is fine because there's more NASCAR today. And
More NASCAR, I gotta take a shower anyway, so. We get these things glued up and throw them back in the car.
While we waited the 24 hours for the gasket maker to set up, we got the new Super Pro polyurethane bushings into the diff carrier. After the differential went back in the car and we tightened everything up, we filled it up with new Redline 75 W90 GL5 gear oil. And we had our shop supervisor come by to make sure we did everything right. She gave it the seal of approval and we got the car on the ground for its maiden voyage with its new diff.
All right, my husband, who does not want his face on camera, paid for this new diff, so he gets the honors of driving it first to see if it works. So I'm just gonna sit over here and talk to him and talk to y'all while we see if this works.
Hello.
Hey! All right.
No wine yet.
Well, yeah, but we're not at whining speed yet. Are you terrified?
I am so terrified. I'm also terrified how the differential bushings are gonna feel. If it's gonna be like super harsh.
Yeah. Well, tell everybody where you would feel that.
I don't know.
You don't know?
They say the shift should be like a little crisper. Under hard acceleration, the actual shifter turret won't move around as much.
Okay. Ooh. Do we want to roll up the windows?
Yeah, we'll roll the windows
We are going 40 and it is not whining.
up. I don't hear a whine.
It's not whining! We still have our mystery rattle. But
Yeah,
it is
I
not
don't
whining.
hear the whine.
Does that? I think that means we did it.
Well, let's get it up. You know,
We'll see. It's not whining. It is like objectively not whining. It would be whining right now.
oh, it 100% be whining at this speed. Yeah.
It was the diff.
Well, I was pretty sure it was the diff.
Yeah, but you were terrified. To be honest.
Yeah.
Whew. Okay. So will we call that a success? How's the shifter feel?
Feels good.
I think we win that round. Anything else you want to talk about, or you want to just loop it around?
I'm gonna get it out on this road.
Oh, that is crazy.
Actually, the shift feels really good.
The shift feels really good. Describe it to me, hon. I'm not shifting it.
The shifter doesn't move.
Yeah.
So before, because it has a PPF, and you know the transmission, engine, and differential are all connected as kind of one unit. Because those old diff bushings could kind of rock back and forth. Whenever you're under hard acceleration, it would twist the diff. So in turn, it would twist your shifter.
Yeah.
So the shifter kind of stays in one spot a lot better now after we change out those bushings.
And most importantly, it doesn't whine. Like, that's crazy. This car has wailed since we got it. And the fact that it's not wailing right now is actually like, it feels like we're in a different car. I'm just used to it being like, woo.
Yeah, you can actually hear the intake a lot more now that there's no whine.
You can actually hear the other parts of the car. Because it was really loud. Like, it was a constant presence in your ears. So it was like it was haunted. Wow.
But our fake supercharger sounds no more. So it's no longer turbo and supercharged.
Well, yeah, that was how we made ourselves feel better. We would say that it was like a supercharger whine. So now we're just turbocharged. We're not fake supercharged, just turbocharged.
It sounds good.
It sounds great. Wow.
No more whine.
It's amazing what a little TLC will do. And a whole weekend. We were talking about this before we got in the car. And I was like, well, just think about it. We had a really productive weekend switching out the diffs.
Oh, the shifts are so good.
But imagine if it still whined after we switched out the diffs. Then we spent a whole weekend doing that to end up in the same spot. But we didn't. This is success. We made it.
Are we mechanics now?
We're mechanics. Porsche is actually the mechanic. I've never gone out of here face first because I don't back into the driveway.
Well, it's set up for you, huh?
It's certainly set up, and I don't want to mess up the lip here. I mean, it feels all right.
What is that?
What is that? We don't talk about that.
That's the check engine light.
We don't talk about that because the check engine light is not what we want to see now, is it? That's crazy, dude. I mean, it's not wailing or nothing. There's a TikTok audio that's like, ooh, it's nice in here. It don't smell like roaches or nothing. All right, we are showered. We are in different clothes. I swapped out my socks with my flip-flops.
New socks.
New socks, new shirt, and a new diff. And this thing no longer whines. This video was gonna end in one of two ways. Either this car was gonna stop whining and we were gonna be victorious, or this car was gonna keep whining and we were gonna think about how we wasted 3 days on it. And luckily, it works and it's good and we are so happy. We got some other stuff to fix on this car to make it amazing, right? We gotta get rid of the check engine light, gotta fix the headlights, gotta find that rattle, and then it's gonna be a great car. If you wanna stick with us and follow that journey, like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you wanna see, hit that notification bell, and we will be around. We'll see you next time.